because of the advice, free, no doubt, because it's Pro Bono Tuesday, that he has dispensed here. He is doing the Lord's work. He is partner at Ngugi Mburu Advocates. He's our very own advocate, Eliud Ngugi Esquire, is here in the studio. Now, today, by the way, let's get straight into it. Before we get into it, Wakili, please, your handles one more time there.
Wakili Ngugi on X, Instagram, TikTok, and Eliud Ngugi on LinkedIn.
You see, like that one, this one he rushed. Yeah. Because he's got 17 minutes. Listen, somebody's written in and says, "Hi, Wakili. Listen, I am married for the last 10 years. Now, I didn't know that we have a mortgage. And now my husband wants me to contribute to the monthly installments and demands for money from me every month since he has access to my account. He's also calling me names, and the children's performances seems to have been affected by the name calling, which has affected me both emotionally and psychologically. Please help me, because I read somewhere that this is domestic violence. I'm also afraid of reporting this matter to the police. Esquire, Wakili, please help me before I go crazy." There's a lot to unbox here, look. But I think obviously where we've got to start here is this involves color. What is domestic violence?
Well, domestic violence is defined with an act in Kenya called the Protection Against Domestic Violence, Cap 151, which is a law that came to force in May 2015. And it gives a definition of what domestic violence amounts to. And
may I ask what was happening before 2015? There was no law?
There was no law. We had not defined what domestic violence was.
Still the wild west. Go on.
And so under section 3 of that said act, it defines violence first and says abuse that includes child marriage, FGM, forced marriage, forced wife inheritance, interference from in-laws, sexual violence within marriage, virginity testing, widow cleansing.
Pause. Widow cleansing.
Yes.
Look, do you want to jump in there?
Let me finish.
Okay. Go on.
I am watching them.
Go on.
Damage of property, defilement, depriving the applicant of or hindering the applicant from access to or reasonable share of the facilities associated with the applicant's place of residence. Let's say you have an external, I wanted to use that word.
Pit latrine.
No, this an urban word. Do you know it?
Outhouse.
Okay, just use it. The economic abuse, with emotional and psychological abuse, harassment, incest, intimidation, physical abuse, sexual abuse, stalking, verbal abuse, and any other conduct against a person where such conduct harms or may cause imminent harm to the safety, health, or well-being of a person.
Thank you. That's it.
Are we done?
So
it also says domestic violence in relation to any person means violence against that person or threat of violence or of imminent danger to that person by any other person with whom that person is and has been in a domestic relationship.
Okay, so virginity testing, 2 issues: virginity testing and widow cleansing. Now, so in short, and maybe I'm wrong, but widow cleansing will be that ceremony
that is called teroburu.
That for us from
the Luo culture
is teroburu. Yes. So that will be widow cleansing.
That's right.
So everybody who participates in this is
that's domestic violence.
In domestic violence.
Yes.
Actually, even the Kikuyus have it when your husband dies. Is that ceremony they do?
I am not sure.
Even kisses, actually. Yes.
That's okay. That means it's a cultural practice within the Republic of Kenya.
I have so many questions, bruv, but I don't think we have the time for them. I.e.,
where were these people when they passed that law in 2015?
Thank you.
And 2015...
public participation was already entrenched in the constitution, eh?
No, this is also the thing. The thing is, I think for these things to become laws, excuse me, Esquire, I know you're busy, but these things, see, before they become laws, they are bills that pass through Parliament. Ne?
They pass through Parliament.
Thank you. So your member of Parliament was sat there.
2015,
yes.
Have been party hand, yes.
And you know what you need to do? You could go to court, in the High Court, Constitutional Court, and seek to say that this particular provision is unconstitutional on this ground, because under the Constitution, Article 2, 4, it just gives what includes law in Kenya.
Right.
It is any law, including customary law. Okay, I get you. Any law, including customary law, that is inconsistent with this constitution is void to the extent of inconsistency, and any act or omission in contravention of this constitution. So,
yes, just
in a few
French.
words,
Yes, please.
if I break it down, what does not amount to Kenyan law is any law that is inconsistent, including the customary law. Because part of what includes Kenyan law is one, customary practices, decisions of the courts, signed treaties, international laws. These include become Kenyan law.
Sharp.
They are part of our constitution.
Sharp.
But any traditional practices or customary practices which are inconsistent with this constitution, and I will take you even to Article 27 on discrimination on grounds of gender, grounds of marital status, etc., and take you also to the article on dignity. Does this practice affect the dignity of a person? Have they been forced to this act? The widow cleansing. So there are
virginity testing.
Virginity testing, does it include? Now that takes you to Sexual Offences Act, because when are you conducting this practice? So the Sexual Offences Act will say it may amount to defilement, and you end up in prison.
There are a lot of criminals walking around.
That's the thing.
Yeah, a lot of criminals just walking around.
I don't know if that virginity testing is a cultural practice in some societies. Here, it's in a neighboring UG. That's also here,
yeah,
right? So you honestly wonder where these people were, your members of parliament, when this bill was being debated and being discussed.
Why?
And they passed it.
But we did the right thing to call it domestic violence, because
it is violence.
It is violence. And we have made other laws which are supporting it as violence.
Okay. So let's come to economic...
No. Hold on. Now, because we said, you know what, full disclosure, we said this one, it can take an hour on its own. Okay?
Yes.
Because, it is 'tis the season for circumcision.
Yes.
Okay? Now, there was a time and a place, and it happens once in a while. Yeah? You've heard of guys being forcefully circumcised, ne?
Yes.
Okay? Through hell or high water.
Yes.
Okay?
You get to that age, you go.
Is that domestic violence? Is it there?
Yes, it is. It is right there. But also,
do
you know we have a law called Prohibition of Female Genital Mutilation Act in Kenya? We have a law on
now,
that.
You see, like that one, we got to note, because we got to discuss that next week. We can take a whole hour. Now, I wouldn't, due to the topic, okay, and the fact of it's landmine territory, I'm not touching FGM. I'm talking about the bulls and the circumcision. Male.
It's not part of this list.
Thank you. So, if, for example, Lorc, are you circumcised? As we live, three guys come. No. I'm talking, Wakili. 3 guys come on a border.
I want to protect him. There is a provision here on physical abuse. So maybe through the process, he's been physically abused. Then that would amount to domestic violence. Eh?
Good job. This is your lawyer. Good job. Safi. Okay. So now that one, too soon. So that encompasses a lot. Okay, now let's go to the economic law. You were talking.
Economic abuse.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is defined as the unreasonable deprivation of economic or financial resources to which an applicant is entitled or which the applicant requires, including household necessities, medical expenses, school fees, rent, mortgage expenses, or other similar expenses, and the denial to the applicant of the right to seek employment or engage in any income generating activity. It amounts to economic abuse.
Okay, let's go to the first half of
The definition.
Of that definition, because obviously as kids growing up, even when dear mama had a job, we now understand why there was always, some sort of token of appreciation that is handed over to her by Jakababa, because you've got to do certain things. She's got to do certain things.
Yes.
But now that's part of the law, because this clearly only happened in 2015. But what you're saying is then, Eliud, let's fast forward to 2024, Tuesday, the 22nd of October.
At 5:54.
Indeed. There's somebody who's listening to you, okay? A girl mami, okay? She's married, all right? And then Lorc is the one who, obviously, he leaves here at 7, he goes about his way, then he goes home. He is supposed to provide her with color. And if he stops, she can come to you and say, this guy is abusing me.
The definition here says it has to be an economic gain, quote unquote, which you are entitled to or which you require to survive. For example, you require, let's say, shelter.
Yes.
Or you require food in that household. You're not a working spouse.
Yes.
So you require rent, you require, and now the landlord...
She requires to do her hair.
She requires... I cannot see it here.
Yeah.
The provision here is household necessities, not beauty and extra things. It just says financial resources to which an applicant is entitled to. So the question will be, if she's entitled to that here expense for you to cover as a man...
Airtime? And maybe, don't tell me I'm being petty. Airtime?
Maybe she requires it to do her online business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're the one who provides.
I thought you'd say.
Or you're the one who pays for internet in that household.
Right.
So the necessities. So the question, the test will be: is it a necessity for you, or is it something that if she's denied, she's not able to function as a spouse? So
basically, what you've done is that you've put us in now that 2015. You see, I'm talking like he's the one who did it. that 2015 act has just basically put us more in line with the global north.
It's trying to, because I am certain that before today, you didn't know about it.
Yes. Yeah.
You did not know about it.
Yes.
And that goes to what we were discussing the other day. Is there enough public participation? Because as a citizen of this country, when we were passing this law, we would have gotten into some civic education where maybe 70% of the Kenyans would have understood that there's actually a law that they can actually rely upon.
Yes.
So when they go through that widow cleansing, or when they go through what do you call it? Virginity testing,
yes.
Or when they go through just verbal abuse, or you are being stalked, or you can actually go to court and raise an issue to say that you need to be protected from such an abuse.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, then he brings so much to light. So now, sorry, man, because we've only got 3 minutes. Then Esquire. So break this one down, then, Jatel. Okay, so it's 10 years. Okay. Now, so this man actually he has a right. Then does he not?
This
that
man,
it's
this
like,
woman?
listen, the man. It's the lady who has written in, but the man is like, hey, we have a mortgage. You need to pay. We're together.
What if she's being coerced? So she expects to have an access to her money. They have a joint account.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is just a joint account.
It's a joint account.
Right.
You expect that you're going to have some money which you could use to maybe cater for the necessities of the household.
Right.
Then you find your man went and withdrew everything. And your account is empty. And he says, oh, it's for that mortgage. And you're not even aware about that mortgage. So you see.
Okay, no, but now he has made her aware, Papa.
So now you are aware.
Now you know, yes.
Yeah, now you know.
And now you have to pay.
I'll take you to the Land Act, which provides that there must be spousal consent when you are taking a facility. You require to have consent.
So if I took it before the spouse came in, it's my business.
Even the bank or the SACCO or that body that is giving you that loan will be in trouble. Because they need to ensure and confirm that your spouse, if you're married, consented to you taking that facility. And if you're not married, you need to prove that you're not married.
Are you saying that in this particular case, she can say no?
She can say no. This is economic abuse. And so, what I would say is she should be able to rush to court, and the jurisdiction of the court is the residence magistrate's court, which has been given that power to grant her protective orders. And so if she's able to make this case and to file this application, then she will be protected from any further action from this man who is trying to access funds which in this case don't belong to him.
So she should go to the magistrate's court. We'll say that one more time.
Resident magistrate's court. An application will be filed, a test will be done on the case. In that court, she should be able to prove this case. And if I see in this case she's saying that she's afraid, because they're still living and sleeping on the same bed. The court is able to grant her protective orders, so she could even be moved to a safe house. There are children involved in this marriage, so the question will be, are they also safe? Because if the man finds that there are court orders, are the children going to be harassed all over the place?
Thank you so much, Esquire. You've got to love him.
Sugar and spice and everything nice. Oh yeah, SpiceFM.
Spice up your life.